Forward to Aunt Jane's Nieces in the Red Cross. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Lynne Thompson. Aunt Jane's Nieces in the Red Cross by L. Frank Baum. Forward. This is the story of how 3 brave American girls sacrificed the comforts and luxuries of home to go abroad and nurse the wounded soldiers of a foreign war. I wish I might have depicted more gently the scenes in hospital and on battlefield, but it is well that my girl readers should realize something of the horrors of war, that they may unite with heart and soul in earnest appeal for universal, lasting peace, and the future abolition of all deadly strife. Except to locate the scenes of my heroine's labors, no attempt has been made to describe technically or historically any phase of the great European war. The character of Dr. Gys is not greatly exaggerated, but had its counterpart in real life. As for the little Belgian, who had no room for scruples in his active brain, his story was related to me by an American war correspondent who vouched for its truth. The other persona in the story are known to those who have followed their adventures in other books of the Aunt Jane's Nieces series. Edith Van Dyne. End of foreword. Chapter 1 of Aunt Jane's Nieces in the Red Cross. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Lynne Thompson. Aunt Jane's Nieces in the Red Cross by L. Frank Baum. Chapter 1. The Arrival of the Boy. "What's the news, Uncle?" asked Miss Patricia Doyle as she entered the cosy breakfast room of a suite of apartments in Willing Square. Even as she spoke she pecked a little kiss on the forehead of the chubby man addressed as Uncle. None other, if you please, than the famous and eccentric multi-millionaire known in Wall Street as John Merrick, and sat down to pour the coffee. There was energy in her method of doing this simple duty, an indication of suppressed vitality that conveyed the idea that here was a girl accustomed to action, and she fitted well into the homely scene, short and somewhat squatty in form, red-haired, freckle-faced, and pug-nosed. Wholesome rather than beautiful was Patsy Doyle, but if you caught a glimpse of her dancing blue eyes you straightway forgot her lesser charms. Quite different was the girl who entered the room a few minutes later. Hers was a dark olive complexion, face of exquisite contour, great brown eyes with a wealth of hair to match them, and the flush of a rose in her rounded cheeks. The poise of her girlish figure was gracious and dignified as the bearing of a queen. "Morning, Cousin Beth," said Patsy cheerily. "Good morning, my dear," and then, with a trace of anxiety in her tone, "What is the news, Uncle John?" The little man had ignored Patsy's first question, but now he answered absently, his eyes still fixed upon the newspaper. "Why, they're going to build another huge skyscraper on Broadway at 11th, and I see the political pot is beginning to bubble all through the Bronx, although—" "Stuff and nonsense, Uncle!" exclaimed Patsy. "Beth asked for news, not for gossip." "The news of the war, Uncle John," added Beth, buttering her toast. "Oh, the war, of course," he said, turning over the page of the morning paper. "It ought to be the Allies' day, for the Germans won yesterday. No, by cracky, Beth, the Germans triumph again. They've captured Maubeuge. What do you think of that?" Patsy gave a little laugh. "Not knowing where Maubeuge is," she remarked, "my only thought is that something is wrong with the London Press Bureau. Perhaps the cables got crossed or short-circuited or something. They don't usually allow the Germans to win 2 days in succession." "Don't interrupt, please," said Beth earnestly. "This is too important a matter to be treated lightly. Read us the article, Uncle. I was afraid Maubeuge would be taken." Patsy accepted her cousin's rebuke with her accustomed good nature.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?